So we have a lot to unpack here. If you don't know, James Harden just got traded to the Brooklyn Nets. It was a 4-team trade, basically a 4-team trade involving the Nets, Rockets, Pacers, and Cavs. The Nets obviously got James Harden. The Rockets got Victor Oladipo from the Pacers, Dante Exum from the Cavs, Rudy Kurukas, 3 Brooklyn first-round picks in 2022, 2024, and 2026. I believe they're all unprotected. 1 Milwaukee first-round pick that's unprotected, and 4 Brooklyn first-round swaps in 2021, 2023, 2025, and 2027. The Pacers would get Caris LeVert from the Nets in the second rounder, and the Cavs would get Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince from the Nets. So there is a lot of moving pieces. Obviously, the one we're going to be talking about the most is James Harden, because this is who the trade is about. So I can't wait to talk about that. But before we get into today's video, if you're new and you like basketball, I really think you would love this channel. So if you haven't already, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I try to upload new daily on this channel, and I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so doing all those things would be a big help to me. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. So I do want to talk about the other teams first before I talk about Harden, because Harden I have the most to say about, but the other teams I do want to talk about. So I'm going to start with the Rockets. They got Oladipo from the Pacers, Exum from the Cavs, Kurukas from the Nets, I want to say, 3 first-round picks from Brooklyn, 2022, 2024, and 2026. A first-round pick from Milwaukee in 2022, and 4 pick swaps in 2021, 2023, 2025, and 2027 with the Nets. I definitely think they could have gotten a better package if I'm the Rockets. I think that, getting Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, and some picks is a better package than this. Oladipo's a good player. There's no doubt about it. He's having a pretty good year. He's averaging like 26 and 4 on pretty decent splits, I would say. But he's on an expiring contract, and he's not getting any younger. So, I think you could have been better off getting like a Ben Simmons, who you have long term and has proven he's an all-star level player. Tyrese Maxey has a lot of potential as well. Matisse Thybulle could be a rotation player and getting picks as well. That could have been fun. Not much to say about Dante Exum or Kurukas. They're just kind of thrown into the deal probably for salary reasons. I don't have much to say about the picks either. I don't think the 2022 pick from Brooklyn or Milwaukee matters, because I think, those picks are going to be in the mid-20s. And I don't really think any of the other picks matter that much, minus like the 2026 and 2027 picks. The 2026 pick being from Brooklyn, obviously, and the 2027 pick being a pick swap, potentially. Just because I don't know where the Nets are going to be in those years, because Kevin Durant's going to be a lot older. So is James Harden. We don't know what's going on with Kyrie in general. That's a whole other story for a whole other time that I don't want to get into. But I definitely think they could have gotten a better package. And again, it's not like Oladipo isn't a good player, but I think you could have done better than Oladipo and picks that will be in like the mid-20s for James Harden. I just think you could have done better than that, but it is what it is. And again, Exum and Kurukas don't really matter in this deal, I'll be honest with you. The Indiana Pacers will get Caris LeVert in a second-round pick in this deal. Some people believe LeVert is a good young player. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's 27, so he's not very young. We have seen probably what he's going to be, and that's a guy that can put up like 18, 5, and 5 on a good team. And the Pacers are a good team this year. Domantas Sabonis has been playing really well. We'll see what goes on with Miles Turner. Malcolm Brogdon has looked really good. But Caris LeVert is somebody that I think on this team averages like 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And that's a solid player. I don't think it's a big upgrade, if an upgrade at all, because I think Oladipo was probably still the better player of the two. But LeVert is a good consolation prize, and he's a bit younger as well. So I think having somebody who's probably, I believe he's under contract still, and getting him in exchange for a guy that was expiring and is older, that's a good payoff in my opinion, especially considering, LeVert is a good player. So that's all I really have to say about that one. The Cavs would get Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince in this deal. Don't know much to say about Taurean Prince. I guess he's a solid player. But I'm really excited about Jarrett Allen to the Cavs. You know, the Cavs were a team that I thought would address the center spot when they got the 5th pick in the 2020 draft. I thought they were going to take Okongwu if he fell, which he obviously did, but they didn't. They took Okoro. But Allen is a really good young big man. He's a great shot blocker. He should have been starting over DeAndre Jordan for the most part, but it is what it is now. I think the Cavs got, you know, those center of the future. He's really good. And that young core of like Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Kevin Porter Jr., Isaac Okoro, and Jarrett Allen, you add that to the mix, like that could be a very fun young core moving forward. And now the reason you all are watching this video. What do I think about the James Harden trade in terms of what it means for James Harden and the Brooklyn Nets? Well, first of all, it probably makes the Nets have one of the most talented big threes in NBA history. Harden, KD, and Kyrie is insanely good. I don't think it takes a genius to know that. And I think it's going to work. I know people believe that it's not going to work because you have 3 players that are ISO heavy. It kind of looks like a recipe for disaster. But the thing is, Harden always had the Nets on his short list of teams he would want to be traded to. And when it came down to it, he said he wanted to go to the Nets. Now, why would he say he wants to go to the Nets if he wasn't willing to adjust? He knows Kyrie Irving's there. He knows Kevin Durant is there. He knows that he's probably not going to be able to put up the numbers that he has been putting up over the past few years if he goes to the Nets. It's probably because he wants to win. He wants to win a title. That's the only thing really missing on his resume. He has the MVP. He has the scoring touts, which I don't care what system he was in. Those numbers are really insane regardless. And he has even a 6th man of the year, the All-Star teams, the All-NBA selection. The only thing he's missing is a ring. Like, that's the only thing. And I think he wants to win a ring. And I think he's willing to make the adjustments at this point in his career. I know that may seem hard to believe considering like how he's been acting over the past few weeks. He's kind of been a diva. But at the same time, you know, I think it's possible. Because, again, he wouldn't have a team with 2 players that are going to take away shots from him on his list of teams he would want to be traded to if he wasn't willing to make that adjustment. That's just how I view it. And the thing is, you know, at the end of the day, I understand people don't like Harden. He's done some stupid things off the court with the whole strip club situation. I understand that. But at the same time, you know, you have to understand, he's still one of like the 5 to 10 best players in the NBA. He's somebody this season that's averaging 25, 5, and 10, and it's considered a down year. Like, he's having a season that would be considered the best season by many for their career, but he is considering it a down year. This is a guy that averaged 34 points a game last year, 36 points per game the year before that, won the MVP the year before that, and then the year before that one, had 11 assists per game and led the league. Like, this is a very gifted player. And I'm kind of tired of the whole system thing. I made multiple videos talking about, you know, why it's stupid to say he's a system player. He's a very talented player. He was talented coming out of Arizona State. He was really good in Oklahoma City despite playing behind Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. And in Houston, he's just been like one of the best players of his generation. And it's like not even up for debate. So again, you know, I'm just tired of people hating on him, but that was a whole mini rant. I like this deal, and I think he's going to be willing to make that adjustment. And if he does, like I think he will, like the Nets are going to be the favorite to come out of the East. And I think they probably will be the favorite to win the title. You want to talk about like, you know, depth and things like that. But like, yeah, you can talk about, oh, other teams have better players that come off the bench and other players that surround those stars. But at the end of the day, no team has 3 players that are as offensively gifted as Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. Because those are 3 players that you can consider the best at a certain scoring category. Kevin Durant is probably the most versatile scorer of all time. Kyrie Irving is the greatest off-bounce creator I've ever seen. And Harden's one of the best shot makers I've ever seen. And they also have a lot left in the tank. They're going to score a lot of points, and it's going to be hard to keep up with that. And I'm just excited to see what he does. I think stat-wise, I think he's still going to average, you know, like 25 points a game. Like, I would say numbers wise, very similar to what his first year in Houston looked like moving forward, because he was playing with two other very talented players. They're averaging like 30 and 27 points per game. I think Kyrie's averaging that much. I know Kevin Durant's averaging like 30 this season. But the point is, I think it will work. Now, why did this video take longer than you thought? It's probably going to be going up around like 10 o'clock tonight. The reason is I just kind of wanted to digest like all of my thoughts about this trade and kind of give you like a more thought out version of what I want to talk about. Because it would have been very easy for me to just make a quick video, put it out, and then moved on. But this is something that is different. It's something that I don't think we'll ever see in NBA history again. And for moments that are kind of groundbreaking in the NBA, and this is a groundbreaking moment in NBA history, I kind of want to give my full thoughts and give you, my clear thoughts. And I've been thinking about this for like 4 or 5 hours now. And this is what I think about it. I think that's really what a moment like this deserves. But I just wanted to talk about that. But thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all those things. And I think it should be fun. I'm excited to see what goes on in Brooklyn. I'm not excited to face them in the playoffs. But it is what it is. I'm happy that Jaylen Brown's still on the Celtics and we didn't trade him for James Harden. Because I know it would be the right basketball move, but I don't think my heart could take it. And with that being said, have a nice day.